So we got a brand new track called Sky High Sunday announced for the Booster Course Pass in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And previously to this we didn't think we were going to get any new tracks for the Booster Course Pass, but now that we got this new track confirmed, it means we could be looking at some other new ones coming out in future waves for the Booster Course Pass. So today I thought I would go over some ideas that I could come up with for different tracks that Nintendo could make for this. Maybe I can even predict a track they're going to do, I don't know. And as always, I'd love to hear ideas on this topic, so comment down below any track ideas you would want to see in the Booster Course Pass. So the first idea I came up with was inspired by the Sand Kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey, and the idea is a frozen desert. So like in Super Mario Odyssey, the Sand Kingdom had frozen over, which doesn't make sense for a desert, so it's kind of an interesting track idea. And it could be the desert at night time, or it could be at the daytime, and have red sand with lots of ice around, and maybe like buildings are trapped in ice, and you have to go through like an ice cave or underground somewhere. And I think that could be a really cool idea to spice up the desert tracks, because a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of desert tracks. All of them are quite similar, so this would really add more themes to it to make it exciting. And I think that would be a great idea. Now my next track idea is a treetop track. It'd be fun to be going around loads of boardwalks in some jungle trees or forest type trees, and there could even be sections where you go above the trees and have to bounce off of each leaf, similar to how you bounce off of mushrooms in Mushroom Gorge. The leaves could be like waving in the wind, so they bounce you back up, and they could have like rivers around that you can see from the top of the trees. It'd be a great track. Maybe you can even like drive down in the river, so you go underwater, and then you could get blasted up to the top of the trees. And yeah, I think a foresty, jungly type track like that could be really fun. So the next track idea I came up with would be like a giant playground, or you're just tiny in this playground, so you could drive around all of the different things you would get in a typical playground, like the slides and the obstacle courses and the swings. And I've heard a lot of cool ideas of having like race tracks where you're small inside of normal human settings, so that would be fun for Nintendo to try out for Mario Kart. The next idea I have is like a theme park roller coaster type track, where maybe the track is a roller coaster, so you're driving around, there's lots of loop-the-loops and twists and turns, and I think that could be really fun because we have Waluigi Pinball where you're in a pinball machine. It'd be kind of fun where you're a roller coaster and driving around in this massive theme park. They could have like jumps in the track as well, and like crazy sections like that, and I think it'd be really fun. I'd love to see them do this, or even a water park track instead, where you're driving around a massive water slide. That could be fun as well, kind of like Big Blue, how you drive around the water, which makes you speed up. So this track could be quite a fast one, and I feel like these could be one lap instead, so you don't go around in a circuit, but you just do one big lap from the top to the bottom, like a water slide would be like. The next track I got was inspired by Woohoo Island, how there's a big volcano. So it would be like where there's a volcano in the middle of this place, and you have to drive up the mountainside around this volcano, and then you actually go into the middle of the volcano, and you can dodge lava and fireballs being chucked at you before you get out at the bottom. And the finish line could be on the beach, so it could be another one where it's one big track with no laps. So you go up the volcano, through the volcano, and end up at the sandy beach or something where the finish line is. And they could even have the Cataquack enemies from Super Mario Sunshine on the mountain, and they chase you around, which can try and knock you off of the mountain. That would be so funny to see people get chucked off the edge of the mountain. The next idea for a track is one of my favorites, and it would be like a time traveling track where you can go through different periods of the Earth, and there's portals that you go through to get to the next place. It can maybe start at the dinosaur age and then go to the ice age, and then maybe to a desert where the Aztecs lived, so like a pyramid area, even to like a western cowboy type place, and then finally to a modern city. It reminds me of the time park map in Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. That was so fun, and I'd love to see like a Mario Kart version of that. This track idea I got inspired by Terraria and the glowing mushroom forest biome in that game. So this track could be like a blue glowing forest with massive mushrooms, maybe like blue, pink, green, purple, that sort of colors, like very neon, and all the mushrooms are glowing, so it has a magical feel to it, and you're driving around this area. Maybe there could be a section where you drive through a stream, which speeds you up if you drive in the direction of the water, and it would just feel so cool to be driving around with these glowing trees and mushrooms around you. And you could even go up to the trees and bounce off of the mushrooms at some point. Okay, the next one I had is like a happy version of a Bowser's Castle track. So instead of it being a scary castle with loads of lava, it could be a castle that's having a festival of some sort. So there could be loads of Piantas and Shy Guys and Toads in the background having a big festival and party, and you're driving through Peach's castle or even a new castle, just having a fun time, and there's loads of ribbons up and banners, and so it's super happy compared to a normal Bowser's Castle level. So I thought that would be a fun spin-off track. My last idea is based on Luigi's Mansion 3, because we have a Luigi's Mansion track, and I think they should do a new one. As in Luigi's Mansion 3, instead of it being like a normal mansion, it was a massive skyscraper. So in this one, you could maybe drive up the skyscraper, going through different floors, and there's lots of staircases to go up, and you could even choose like, different ways to go up the staircases. They could have those stairs that go off in two directions, and they could take you to different rooms. That would be quite fun. And there's quite a lot of opportunities. They could add scary jump scares into the track, and I know that would only really get someone on their first playthrough, but it would be kind of funny. So yeah, that was my final idea for a track in this video. If you'd like a part 2, I can try and come up with some more, but I'm sure a lot of you guys will have loads of ideas in the comments. I can't wait to read those. That's going to be super exciting. I'll try and reply to your comments if you leave one down below. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like to let me know if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and want to see more content like this in the future. I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye.